Hi, Soul Family. Okay, so I attempted to do the reading up on the estuary site, which is up that way. I'm in my car because I have to charge my battery. It's just the way it is. I'm gonna let you take a look around at, I've got you guys on a little stand so that I can kind of spin things around and let you guys see things. But we have to do it this way. It's just the way it has to go at this moment. So I hope that you are okay with that, because this is the way it's gotta be. Okay, so I started to say, and on YouTube, you guys won't know this. I had a dream last night, or maybe it was this morning. It was probably early this morning. And I was given some information. And it's interesting because Spirit said I was going to get this information, and I did. And it has several different messages. The main message that I got, and I shared it, so I'm going to somehow, I'll tell you now, I'm going to add it to this video so that you can, I don't want to go through the whole thing and explain it again. But there are several different ways. My mouth is so dry, sorry. That it can be understood, which is good, because not all of us have the same story. So the first story, I'll recap really quickly. I showed the statue I was led to the night of the full moon, which means a lot in itself. I was led there on the night of the full moon, and I showed you guys the statue. And if you guys are on YouTube and you haven't been to my Facebook channel, go ahead and look at my Facebook channel. You'll understand what I'm talking about. It's a Native American that is releasing a peregrine falcon. Now, Morro Rock is known to be the breeding grounds of the peregrine falcon that almost became extinct. And they were used for falconry, and their population diminished. It was awful what was done to them. So then there was a rescue operation that was put underway, and it brought their population back. And now this is the place that they are. This is a place that's very important for them, for their breeding. And we used to be able to, even just several years ago, you used to be able to drive your car, I'll show you while I'm talking, around the base of Morro Rock. There's Morro Rock right there. You used to be able to drive all the way around to the other side. The other side is where the nests are. They nest on the other side of the rock. And it's interesting because my ospreys, they nest on this side. Ooh, I love that message. Thank you very much. So on one side of the rock are the peregrines, which are smaller. They are about the size of a crow. And remember, I was talking about crow, and I said that crow was giving the crows a bad name. So it may not have been a crow, it may have been a falcon. And on the other side of that family rock, you would think about that rock, or maybe on the other side of Spirit, or on the other side of the challenge even. A rock represents a challenge, it represents Spirit, it represents, so to me, I'm literally looking at an Indian warhead, the head of a warrior. The face is facing away from the divine masculine, which is the sun, and the headdress is going back this way. It's looking that way. So on the side of the face looking up this way is where the osprey live. Behind where the feathers are, in the back area, so in the back of the head, so I'm getting different messages too. Ancient history, tradition, overthinking. This is forward facing, right? This is facing north, your true north. This way, so the falcon is on the back side. The falcon is trapped in the past. And they literally are, because that's what I was being shown. Here, I'll let you guys just watch. You're looking right now, coming towards you, are pelicans. And the pelican says, drop your burdens, release the past, release what you've been carrying, the load of the past that no longer works for you, so that you can fly free. That's the message. It's also talking about forgiveness of others and self. So I'm glad, I guess, I came here to do the reading this way. Spirit knows what it's doing at all times. What I saw was, and I'm going to turn it back around because otherwise I'll get distracted. I get distracted when I'm not, when I'm looking at other things, because Spirit brings me so many messages. So what was going on was the Native American he had a closed mouth, which to me looked like he was unable to express himself. And I would say that, and at the base of the statue was a black bear that was so afraid it was clinging, right? It wasn't even looking to where the native was releasing the falcon. But he wasn't really releasing the falcon because he had a leather tie. He hobbled him, he bound him, he owned him, he wasn't letting him go. So it could be what you are holding on to. You won't release it. I'm not owning, like I'm owning something that maybe isn't even mine to own. It might be my family's, it might be ancient history. Like my last name is Columbus, okay? It's not my name. It's the name of somebody that I married. So you could be taking on family issues that aren't even your issues, not even your family. It could be someone that you're connected with or somebody that you were connected with. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be grandparents. I don't know who it is in your life. But the message is, my last name is Columbus. I kept that last name. I liked it better than the name that I was raised with. I was raised by a stepfather, and his last name was Bergman. Bergman. I still can't say it. I never could. My whole life that was my name, but I could never pronounce it properly. I was born Sherry Standel. That's my birth name. But I remember writing it until I was 7, 8. I wrote it the last time when I was adopted. That was when I moved to California. I wrote it on my passport, actually. And it's sad, that was stolen, so I don't even have memory of my first writing, but I did write that name. But I don't associate with it. I associated with my mother's name. Now think about all of these things with the native and holding on to the ancient history and on we go. So I didn't really, even though that was my birth name, I didn't associate with that name. My mother's name was Lation, which is Welsh, which is my grandmother's name, my cousin's name. The only people I knew my whole life, their last name was Lation. So, and it's Lyshan, it's Welsh. So if you want to speak it in that language, that's how it sounds. But I was adopted and became Bergman, and I never liked it. Sorry, Dad, I just didn't. It was a masculine name. It means man from the mountain, which is really interesting. Look at it. It means man from the mountain, right? It was a very masculine, hard energy, man from the mountain. It wasn't my name, but it was. It was the name of the person who loved me and who raised me and who took me on. But then when I got married when I was 17, I took on the name of my son's father, Columbus. I liked it. I thought it was a cool name. I always did. Not to mention, he was my first love, right? And I wanted that name. And so when we got divorced, only a year and 3 months later, due to all kinds of things that have been brought up in many other readings, I kept that name because I wanted to have the same name. I knew my son would never change his last name. If I had a daughter, it would be a different name when she got married, but my son would never change his name. So I chose to keep that name. And when Columbus Day comes along, I get emails and nasty comments from people about what a horrible person Columbus was, and like it's my fault. I'm sorry that you had, you're from Native ancestry and you hate that about that person. That person is not me. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys, right? Taking on somebody else's story. Are you holding on to somebody else's story? Or is somebody else putting their story upon you? Which that native was releasing that falcon, but for his own work, for his own plans, his own ideas. He had a leather tie bound to that one. The bear was very, very sad. To me, when I looked at the bear and I looked at the heron today, they both looked like they were afraid to leave. They were afraid to leave either their tribe, their religion, the beliefs of the past. It could have been, the bear to me is nurturing, mother bear, protection, right? So the mother was really sad. She was holding on to the base of the native culture. And sadness was what I got. That whatever happened then was sad to her. She couldn't face forward. She was also holding on to the past. And then there was the blue heron, very capable. The blue heron is the one who walks to his own beat, dances to his own drum. The jack of all trades, the master of none, the one who doesn't really care about keeping up with the Joneses, is extremely capable and beautiful and elegant and knows how to strike wait for the perfect opportunity and how to strike when the opportunity comes and not lose it. And not only they see an opportunity when others don't see it. And not only do they see that opportunity, but they can make something out of it that nobody else can. And yet that heron had his wings wrapped around that native as well. Now, was that heron holding on and trying to support this one that couldn't let go of their past? Or was that one also fearful of leaving that family? They were all bound together. They're all bound to the memories of the past. They were all bound to the family secrets. They couldn't move forward from that family. That falcon wanted to go. That falcon's eyes were focused on the future, and it was very capable and wanted to get the hell out of there. But it wasn't free to go. It was being held back. It was owned by that family, by that what was expected of them, by whatever they were holding on to. Or are they? Are they trying to break free? Spirit says, follow your true north. It says, drop the burdens of the past. Oh my God, and there you are. There's the osprey, right there. Oh, it came right towards us, and I wasn't able to turn it around. It's going up in the tree, which means it'll come back down. The osprey is a diving eagle, diving hawk. That's my baby. And that says important information is pending. There is an opportunity coming. Grab that opportunity, because it may not come back around for a very long time, if ever. You, as all the raptors, have talons that are capable of holding on and not letting go of that opportunity. You will dive down under your emotional waters. You will dive down deep under your emotional waters, and you will rise back up again, because you are capable. That's what the osprey says. As the osprey comes back again, I'm going to whip us back around, because I love that bird. I love that one. That's my baby. So, where were we? Who's holding on? Is somebody holding you captive? What came up in my dream, and this is something that I'm wondering if I should speak about now or speak about afterwards. I'm either noticing 2 osprey or 1 red hawk sitting on a branch and the osprey above it, which makes sense. The osprey is my spiritual twin, and the red hawk is me. And the falcon is a family member, not mine. So I said to Spirit, I want to change my last name. I don't really resonate, except for the fact that Columbus was an explorer, and I am. There's a reason my name is Columbus, but it's a name that I want to lose. I don't. It isn't who I am. I wanted to go back to my family's name, my grandmother's name, the grandmother that raised me, where my cousins were, my mother's maiden name. That's what I resonated with. Women shouldn't have to change their names when they get married. My daughter didn't. She added it. She added it, which is what it should be. It's like a coming together, right, of the best of both worlds. So I think I'm going to wait until I do the reading before I decide to tell you what I was shown in my dream. I spoke about it a little bit there, but I didn't say the major part of what I watched. I will tell you in the beginning. Sorry, I have to brush my hair. I know you guys saw me kind of sneak it to the side, but it's my psychic antennae, and I can feel it when it's knotted, and it bothers me. OCD, I guess, right? Whatever. I don't believe in labels. So what it was is I had several dreams together, and the last dream was this person that I thought was my twin soul. I was connected to this person. I'm very connected to this person's family. I love this person's family. This person and I never had a relationship. We never really were friends. I was a friend to this person. They really weren't a friend to me. But he showed up in my dream, and I didn't understand why. Why do you always show up in my dreams? The past, not cut yet, or somebody holding on, you know, maybe like that native that was trying to hold on to that falcon when he was trying to go free. And there was a cord still wrapped around the talon or the whatever you call it, the leg of that little falcon that was trying to escape. And I wondered, again, why are you here? And that person wanted me to come to where they were. I got an invitation. Somebody said they would buy me a ticket, and I could go back to where this person was playing their gig. And I wanted to go. I wanted to go really bad. I love that area. I love those people. And I love the music. If I have to jump out of the car, I will. There goes the osprey. Where's my freaking door handle? That's an osprey. That's an osprey. Two of them, a pair. Oh my God, there's three. There's one here, there's one there, and there's one on the tree. Hi, baby. Yes. The one on the tree, and the one that's flying free, and the one that's right there, and there's another one over there on the, and there's another. There's four. No, there's four. Four osprey. So I bruised myself big time trying to get this damn door open. My leg. I've got bruises all over my legs. I am the least ladylike girl. I swear to God. I'm the same person I was when I was freaking 7. Good Lord, now this won't shut. Shut up. Ugh. So annoying. Beautiful birds. Okay, so the fact that there were 4 says that the angels are with you. They're working with you. They're guiding you. They're protecting you. They're loving you. There's no reason for fear. Okay, there's your main message. There were 4 of them. I have so many messages that keep coming and I keep being distracted. Oh my God, I can't handle this. This is just the worst. Like, really? All of my cards fell. I'll let you guys look. This is what happened. There's a reason that this happened. All the words were spilled. All the words are being spilled. There's the number 4. Again, the angels are with you, completely guiding, protecting, and loving you. There's no reason for fear. There's a reason that this happened. Something happens in a matter of days. And so the osprey says that you need to act now. The issue is self-denial, okay? A recovery is indicated. Wow, this is how we're doing the reading. Be confident. You rock. Okay, I'm going to stop looking at these. I'm going to stop looking at them until I'll let you look up here. So what is the self-denial about? What it is that you really want? Do you feel that you can't forgive yourself? Do you feel that you won't be forgiven? Because you're wrong. I couldn't have a more perfect messenger show up right then. Not to mention the fact that I haven't seen 4 this entire trip. I've seen 3, but not 4. So all the words are spoken. So what I got from Spirit from that was speak your truth, right? Spill the words, whatever they are. Whatever needs to be said, spill it out. I should give you items to choose from, I suppose. But I get really annoyed because I don't remember what I've chosen. And I feel like I just want to do the reading, you know? I feel like I just want to do it and give you the message that Spirit has to share with you. We have 4 osprey. We could choose 4 different messages for 4 different ospreys. Osprey 1, Osprey 2, Osprey 3, Osprey 4. You can do that, okay? That's what you're gonna do. Osprey 1, Osprey 2, Osprey 3, Osprey 4. Why did you choose the number that you did? That'll tell you something in itself. And then I'll move forward. See if I can do this in a way where I don't bruise the hell out of myself. That hurts really bad. I got bruises all over me. Just like when I was a little girl. It's always been the same. No matter where I was in pictures, my hair was in a mess, my feet were dirty, and I've had bruises all over me because I'm constantly climbing and dropping things and rushing to, I get so excited and I move forward, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to share with you, is there a reason that this... I'm trying to keep this battery charging. Okay, sorry. It's a little discombobulated. So item 1, Osprey. We are going to find out why I had the dream that I had. I'm watching seagulls all over. Of course, I'm at the beach. They're not flying right now. They're floating on the emotional waters. There's one flying, but most of them are just kind of floating because the water's calm right now. So that's what it's telling you. Just kind of relax. It also says allow life to come to you. Look at that. I had 4 osprey come right to me, right? Right to us. I hope that you guys can zoom in and see them. It makes me sad when I record things. They look so large to me, and I look in the video and it's nothing for you guys. So the decks that I'm going to be working with, I chose to allow love to lead. Okay, so I'm working with the Whispers of Love deck because that's what I'm being, I was given information. It upset me, right? So the message was what? This guy wanted me to come back to his gig, and I wanted to go. And I thought to myself, why? Why do I want to go? Why am I drawn? And why is it that you are there? You know, I mean, I'm not drawn to go to you. I'm drawn to go to, I'm thinking about that falcon, right? It's the family, it's the situation. I want to fly free, but I keep being pulled back because I love those people. I love, and maybe that connection. And that's what I watched in the dream, that somebody feels like there may be somebody that's having an affair with somebody else, and they're married. And they're not going to leave their family. And it's inappropriate what you're doing. And you may feel that that's where where you're drawn because you have family in common, or you have that history in common, or you have something in common. But if you don't want to be in a relationship with someone, if you're not happy, that person was happy. They have a relationship with you, but they don't want to leave that one either. They have great intimacy with, they have great sex with. You, they have an emotional connection with. And some may call it a sexual addiction, right? You're my addiction. You're my karmic soulmate that I feel this draw to. Sorry, frustrating. Please stop doing that. But is it in your highest good? No, because what you're doing is dishonorable, right? And what that person is doing is dishonorable, but that person is happy living that way. That person actually doesn't believe in relationships. That person actually doesn't believe in marriage. They have no problem. Maybe that's the kind of lifestyle you came from. I don't know. Here's me judging, right? Well, Spirit's saying it's dishonorable. So some people live in that lifestyle, but I'm being told it's dishonorable. It's dishonorable because if it's an arrangement you all agree with, that's fine. But in this situation, that's not what I was being shown. One is having a secret affair with you. It's all undercover, hush hush, while being connected to someone else. They're not leaving that person because they're comfortable with the money, or they're not leaving that person because their family wouldn't approve. They're not leaving that person because they wouldn't approve of your lifestyle, your choices. I don't know, whatever the reasons were. What I was being shown was, why am I? Because I'm there. See, so I'm connecting to somebody who's in this situation. And I'm there. I don't want to be there. I'm just dreaming. And yet they show me this person in my life that I was connected to. I love that person's family. I do. I don't hate that person. I liked that person at the time. But that person really was never my friend, right? I moved on. You made a choice. I made a choice. I was never treated with respect. And it wasn't where I was meant to be. And so why do you keep showing up in my dreams? right? Because I'm being shown that someone in my life is also having that same situation happen. But I cut the cords that bind, right? I'm flying free. I'm a falcon that's not being held back. I'm actually not a falcon, thank you very much. I am the osprey and the red hawk and the falcon and the vulture. I'm all of them. And so can you be. So make your choice. Because time moves on. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose falcon number 1, who did I choose? I chose falcon number 2. Not falcon, sorry. Osprey. Osprey number 2, because I am osprey number 1. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose falcon number, why is it? So maybe the osprey and the falcon are the same person, right? Number 1 is the same person. The falcon that wants to go, but is the osprey at the same time. Interesting. You got 2 messages.
I love it. Your hubby gets the last laugh out of that one.
The only thing that is real is love. And love makes the difference. So love is the answer always. What would love say? What would love do in any situation? So focus on love. Shift your focus away from what the problem is and focus it back to love. Love making a difference. Love can help heal past hurts, provides a sense of security, self-worth, and importance. Now, these pictures are very, very complicated, but I don't want to spend hours and hours doing this. What you see in this, the only thing that is real is love, is a family tree, okay? You see our Father holding your hand, and you see all of the children together. All the children of the world, after a difficult time, is a rainbow. You want to focus on the light, on the happiness, on the growth, on the healing. There's so much. I could spend hours reading this card. The doves speak about soulmate connections. They speak about peace and harmony. They speak about love. They speak about an olive branch, extending an olive branch. That's why forgiveness has come up. Forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others. The pelicans spoke about forgiveness. The message that fell when all the words fell out. All the words fell out. Now, do you see how when I did this reading, it was like a disaster. Everything fell. I bumped myself. I got bruised. My cards went all over the place. I couldn't get the door open. My battery needs to charge, so I don't have enough battery. It goes on and on and on, right? But it's all happening for a reason. Everything that happened has a meaning. And so the number is 7. As long as you stay on this spiritually illuminated path, which is love, your outcome will exceed your expectations. So you're supposed to shift your focus away from whatever this problem is most of the time that you've created in your own mind, or that you won't let go of, or that maybe somebody else put upon you, and recognize that love heals everything. It can heal the past hurts, the past problems, your past childhood traumas. It can make you feel strong and safe and secure again. It can tell you that you are worthy. You rock. Remember that message? And that you're important, that you matter. She's got an old phonograph here. Are you playing ancient history over and over again? Sitting here sad, like that falcon constantly tied, or that Indian brave who's not so brave, that's holding on to the past, or maybe forcing his feelings and issues and beliefs onto his children. Or maybe that's just all you, right? Holding on to tradition, remembering something that happened when you were a child, that even though you're a big, strong bear now, it keeps you cowering. And it's interesting that we hold on to places and people that hurt us when we're meant to release it, right? This ship is sailing, and it might be telling you that ship has sailed. There's a transformation that's coming out, the music that's coming out. Something is transforming from one thing into another. And you see this old man and his grandson in the boat, maybe telling the stories from the past. On her head are candles, lit. It's a celebration. Celebrate life. It makes a difference. So I led with that. I'm gonna go to my deck. And the cards, I can't really shuffle them because they're completely in a, it's like you put them inside of a, what's it called? A raffle bowl, right? And you pick the one. Make a wish and pick the one. Which one, Spirit? Which is the one that's most applicable for Osprey number 1? Are you mad? Walk away. Go for a walk. Relax. Calm down. Get out into nature. It's important. For Osprey number 1, you are overspending. Love that void instead. Osprey number 1 is the one who is Falcon and Osprey together. The Falcon that's tied back with something that they won't let go, that's begging to get free, and yet you're holding on to something. An inappropriate relationship, a toxic relationship, a sexual addiction, a married individual when you are free, and yet you don't move forward because you've got this connection to this person from the past. They're never leaving, and even if they do, is it really what you want? Instead of allowing love in, you don't believe in marriage. I don't believe in it. What I saw was a nightmare. What I experienced was a nightmare. I've never experienced love like that native that wasn't smiling, wasn't expressing. I don't even know how to deal with real love. I've never experienced it. I didn't grow up in a family that was loving. I grew up in a family that was swinging left, right, and center. This one was sleeping with that one. There was no semblance of family order. Whatever your story is, instead of allowing love in and loving themselves, they're spending money to fill a void. Love that void instead. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Last message. Set new priorities. The past is the past. It doesn't have to be your future. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose Osprey number 2. Now we led with love, but now we're going to the wisdom of the oracle. Well, there's your message. And this, of course, was what I chose. I choose a new life. Right? I am poised and ready. My arms are open to receive. This is what you're telling yourself. Maybe, did you just wake up about something? Yeah, I woke up this morning and saw something that I never understood. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one was connected to a married person, to somebody else. Having a third-party situation. I woke up to that fact. I want a new life. I want a different life. This one, you're raised. You're above it all. You're above all of that garbage of the noise of the past. It's a fresh new day, and I'm stretching. I'm going to stretch as far as I can possibly stretch. I'm going to explore. I'm going to go and embrace the name that I was obviously given for a reason. The number is 39. 3, ascended masters working with you. Thanks, Mom. Help me out some more. Loving you, guiding you, and protecting you. Showing you the way, working for you, bringing things to you, right? That's your team. They're working with you. Who is this in your life? And then the number 9. You've got everything you need, light worker, in order to move forward on your spiritually illuminated path. Stop being tied to the past. Stop procrastinating. Do it. What were you looking at on this trip? I was looking at campers. I was looking at this one guy built his own little teardrop, but it was bigger than a teardrop. It had a queen-size bed. It has a sink. It had a television. It had all kinds of stuff. He made it himself. There's things that I want to do. I obviously keep being pulled to what I want to do. I'm an adventurer. That's why I kept the name Columbus for so many years, I guess. So what is it for you? This new life, is there a new life being operated? Somebody's having an operation which is going to bring new life to them. It could be a spiritual operation, right? Cutting away what doesn't work. I had a hysterectomy years ago. I was in extreme pain from the time that I was 16 years old until I was, how old was I when I had the hysterectomy? 27? I was way too young to be told I couldn't have children again. And it's funny because I only ever wanted 2 kids, but to be told that my option had been taken away from me, that was very upsetting for me. And so when I was very, very young, the doctor said to me, "Are you ready? Are you ready for the hysterectomy?" And I said, "No." And he says, "When you're ready, just let me know, because it's not going to kill you at this point, but eventually it's going to have to happen." And so I put it off, and I had a baby. I had a little girl. I had my second little girl, the one that I wanted, right? So there I have my 2 kids, and then it hit again. Extreme, excruciating agony all the time. Every month I was on no pain medication would touch it. And so it got to the point where it was so bad that I was rushed to the hospital, and I had a hysterectomy, and it was an emergency. I got to show you guys. Pelicans, as they're telling you to drop the past, right? Drop the sadness. Again, look at them. They're all going towards the light, towards the sun. They're following Spirit's lead. They're listening. They're flying high because they have dropped what they've been carrying. They've let go, and that way they can fly free. Move forward on your emotional waters easily, right? So I rushed into the hospital in Canada, and I have this emergency hysterectomy. They slashed my stomach open. I have a big scar across my stomach. And they didn't care how they did it. They just wanted to get that big tumor that had grown in my stomach out quickly before it burst, and they weren't able to do it. It ruptured before they could get it out, so it was all throughout my body cavity. So there was a lot of toxicity spilled inside my body cavity. I'm just thinking about that now. I'm probably still releasing all of those emotional things that were attached to that toxicity that had built up for those years, all that pain inside of me. Now think about this in symbolic terms, right? It saved my life. I could have died. It was so bad. I carry a scar. It's worth it. Scar goes kind of like this along my lower stomach. I've got scars everywhere. I had 2 breast reductions. Great boobs, but scars everywhere. We all have scars. Scars said that we survived. We went through it and we survived. So in your symbolic messages is to let go, right? Somebody is going to have a spiritual operation, or maybe they need to have an operation and they're afraid to. I got this morning, get a checkup now. And there might be an operation that needs to happen and you're afraid of that. Or maybe this operation is what you need to cut yourself away from. The toxic stuff in your life, the toxic people in your life. You know, family is toxic a lot of the times. And just because they're family doesn't mean that you need to stay there. It's actually very bad for you to stay there but what I got was, if that's the situation where that falcon's gonna leave, he left his family, but he had a tie. He'd come back again. So that might be a message too. The falcon, that is the osprey, which was number 1, which is interesting because that's my number 1, clearly. He wants to fly free, but he'll come back. There's a tie. So sometimes we have to let someone go. The mama bear was crying. She didn't want to let that one go. The father was saying go. Maybe that's spirit. I know it is spirit. Spirit is saying fly. Fly, my boy. Fly free. Mama bear was crying. Didn't even want to look. I can't look. I can't look and see him go. And the blue heron was saying, it's okay. Maybe someone's died. And you're being released back to spirit. And you don't want to let go of that pain. And you're crying. You don't want to let go of them, but they have to go. And the blue heron is there to support you as you go through that horrible, horrible time. You had to let the falcon go. The father had to go. The man had to go. The son is supporting spirit and the one that is grieving of the loss of that one. Here's your message. We already got new life, but we're getting another one. It's called exchanging gifts. So you see, you have to have an equal give and take in a relationship. I told you I saw somebody who's in a relationship with somebody who's married, right? That's not equal. Clearly, this is 2. Spirit doesn't show 3, they show 2. An equal give and take. But that's what's happening here. There's an exchange, an equal exchange taking place. That cat is actually a wild cat. That's a savanna cat. And people keep them as pets, and they shouldn't. They're part wild, they're beautiful. But that wild cat loves that ballerina. The ballerina in the box. That one, I'm getting a message that one's been kept in a box. That special one. And she's popped up and she's playing her music, which means she's speaking. She's singing her song, and she is holding the gold star. Oh my God, that one. This is my card, so yeah, I'm seeing my message for sure. She holds on to that star. That star is her true north, but she's handing it to this wildcat that she loves. And he says, she's giving him that gold star. He doesn't have much. He says, all I have is my love to give you. And she says, that's an equal exchange, because your love is the only thing that I don't have, that I want. They're exchanging gifts, too. Everything is happening exactly as it is meant to happen, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. 7 If you stay on your spiritually illuminated path, it will exceed your expectations. This is talking about being in a reciprocal relationship where there is an equal give and take, right? Sometimes one has more to give than the other. This can be a man. It doesn't have to be a female. This wild cat down here, the Savannah cat, wearing a pink ribbon. Could be a same-sex relationship. I'm the wild cat. And that graceful one that's been kept in a box is busting free. That cat is looking to her true north. And there's an equal exchange. And 2 and 7 together comes down to 9, which says again, you have everything you need, light worker, in order to move forward on your spiritually illuminated path. Stop procrastinating. Right? Colette Baron Reed has different messages for these cards, but I read cards. I don't read necessarily. If I do a reading, I'll take it into account. So if you guys have this deck and you know that it has a different message in there for you, by all means, feel free. I'm reading the cards and listening to the messages that come because of what's in front of me. I keep seeing that Indian brave. When I go to Sedona, I love climbing the rocks. I love rock climbing everywhere I go. And Spirit said, when the great wave comes, go to the mountain. The mountain with the tablets. Tablets are waterfalls. I now understand. Waterfalls are tears. When the great wave comes, the great wave of motion, go to the mountain with the tears. I keep thinking of Chief Dan George. When I grew up in Canada, Chief Dan George was a famous Indian chief. He was an actor and he was an environmentalist. And all of the television commercials, even at that time when I was a little girl, that was a long time ago, he had tears falling because of what man was doing to our planet to pollute it and hurt it. I connected with a person named Timothy who is spending all of his time, works 2 jobs to pick up garbage other people left behind. I'm saying to you right now, somebody's asking me, and it is a personal message. I forgive you. I am saying that. You needed to hear that? I forgive you. So he's got 3 different locations that he lives in. I shared his information on my page. I'm going to say it again. It's Clearwaterwaves, www.clearwaterwaves.org. And if you can make a donation of any type, it would be fantastic. He works 2 jobs so that he can go and spend all of his free time picking up cigarette butts, other people's garbage out of the ditches. The city does a perimeter, but they don't look down in the areas where it goes down to the water. That's what he does for free. He does it because he loves this planet, because he's like Chief Dan George. And he also is trying to educate people. So I know that there are a lot of wealthy benefactors out there, a lot of people that have a lot of money that spend money on stupid things. So the person, number 1 bird, number 1 osprey, who is spending all that money to fill a void, would you please, instead of spending all that money, you're wasting money, give it to an organization like that helps the planet, that helps our waterways, that helps the birds, that helps support a man who works 2 jobs to do the work that we should be doing ourselves. I'll put the link again in my reading. Don't waste your money on stupid things filling a void. If you need to spend money to fill a void instead of facing what your issues truthfully are and releasing the past, then why don't you at least spend it on something that's worthy? So your messages as I'm talking, obviously I'm very vehement I'm an activist. That's how I speak. We get arrested, right? Activists get arrested all the time. Jane Fonda just got arrested. And that's wonderful when someone like that gets arrested, because why not, man? Arrest me, right? Then everyone will pay attention. If they just arrest that hippie or that homeless person on the side of the road, nobody gives a shit. But if they arrest Jane Fonda, everybody pays attention. My friend Chad Whitworth, is another person I met here, a friend of Timothy's. And he has a head injury that happened several years ago that's left him where he is unable to drive. He's a great guy. He has beautiful silk screen shirts made of natural materials, all organic. I'm going to put his link in here as well. There are Native American pictures and prints on them. You guys would appreciate them. His company is called Roots Relics. They're on Facebook. Look them up. He's also, as I said, I'll put my link in here. And he gets hassled by the local police because he's got pot plants. Everyone's allowed to have 5. But they do everything to hassle him. You know, oh, somebody called it in. You know, because you got to have it under lock and key where no one else can get it, where they can't smell it, where it's not visible. It's basically because all of the big, organizations like Starbucks, they're going to be opening up their weed coffee shops, right? It's all about big money. So then the people who actually need it are being punished. So for those, again, who would like to support people who actually need it, people that have had seizures, people that are suffering from pain from cancer, people that have autism, people that have tremors, people that have extreme depression and anxiety that is relieved by smoking cannabis or by taking cannabis in. My mama Sherry has breast cancer. She's in remission, but she's got pain, and I gave her my my Phoenix Tears, which has THC in it, which is illegal for her to get there, which is insane, and it helped her immensely. So the people in power need to freaking open up their mind and understand it's not about fucking money. It's about helping the planet. It's okay for you guys to allow everybody to drink, right? How many people die every year because of alcoholism or because of accidents? And you don't see a stoned person or a stoner going out and raping and murdering people. People don't get angry when they're stoned. They get angry when they drink. So, without a doubt, Spirit says. Am I an activist? Hell yeah, I am. There's got to be a compromise. It's got to be, of course, people shouldn't be driving their vehicles when they're stoned. No, because it alters your perception. Yes, it does. If you want to argue with me, I've already argued with my ex-husband until I'm blue in the face. Yes, it does. I can't drive. I don't smoke pot because I just don't. I don't know. It makes me hungry. It makes me want to eat everything in sight, which is one reason why cancer patients really can use it. My mother had pancreatic cancer, and there could be people that have issues with anorexia, and they need to eat, and it makes you eat, makes you want to eat. That's why I don't smoke it. I don't like it burning my lungs either, so I used a water bong, but there's other ways to take cannabis. Cannabis oil I gave my cats that were in absolute agony oil, and it helped them. One of them was overdosed by the doctor, by the veterinarian, and he was going through withdrawals. It was excruciating to watch. I cry. I can't look at the videos. I cry. His name is Prince, and it was awful what happened to him. And it was the Phoenix Tears. I thought I was giving him cannabis oil, but it was actually Phoenix Tears that my girlfriend Kirsten makes in Canada, and it helped him come down. And whenever they're extremely overwhelmed or traumatized, and when Lily was dying, that's what I gave her, and it helped her. So there's got to be a compromise. Again, I forgive you. It keeps coming out. So maybe you need to forgive yourself, right? So now I've got my cards in order, and we're going to go on to Osprey 3. Osprey 3 is who I want to be. I just heard. Osprey 1 is still tied to the past, not being truthful, in pain. Osprey 2 was me, the adventurer, right? But I'm moving up. We're constantly moving up. I'm choosing to be Osprey number 3, and then I'll move to Osprey number 4. I'll walk through that door. So, for those who chose Osprey number 3, we're going to go to another deck that I love very, very much. I have another animal messenger that just made itself known. I'll share it in a moment. It's my spiritual twin shows up on this trip constantly in many different ways. The osprey, the dragonfish, the silver wolf, the Black Panther, constantly. And as I speak about my spiritual twin, I am my twin and my twin is I. So that is me, all aspects of myself, right? When we were walking yesterday along by the Natural History Museum, I videotaped it, and I don't know if that one came out. I think it did. It was on Facebook. I stepped down and I saw a rock on the ground, and it was in the shape of my silver wolf. Not the black wolf, the silver wolf. So I looked at it again today, and what's so freaking incredible about this is it literally is several rocks in one. I'm gonna probably get emotional again. My silver wolf is blue right now. When I was looking at him, he was upside down. He didn't even look like my wolf. So you see on this side, I'm gonna bring it into the light. I'll do it like this. Now, where can I do it where you can see it? Sorry. So there's a bunch of little shells or little stones all collected together. And you can see right here, there's blue. Blue is the color of communication. Blue is the color of truth. I also see, wow, I see other items right here. I see a golden retriever's head, which is loyalty, protection, best friend. I also see a rabbit running, which is fertility, abundance, sensitivity, fast movement. And then you turn them around and you see my wolf, my mate, all together in this one rock. Isn't that incredible that Spirit gave me that gift? The wolf, once they find their mate, they mate for life. They're loyal. They take turns taking the lead. They're not ashamed to have an alpha female when they are an alpha male. They recognize that that's what makes their pride strong, right? Beautiful. That came out with 3 because that's who I want to be. Okay, so the message, the deck that we're going to be working with is going to be the avian deck that I love so much. I'm very excited about my friend, another friend that I met in person, John Mosley, who's creating a deck called the Spirits Oracle. I said it wrong the last reading. Deck, all made up of his beautiful artwork. I released it on my page, a video that he shared. You can see him painting, and you can see some of them. And he's trying to get them released by, there's our card. He's trying to get them released by December. And everybody, it's a pre-order right now if you want to get in on the order. And he's got some options that are really cool. You can, I got a beautiful painting, you guys. It's a print of one of his paintings. I couldn't afford the $10,000 one. But you can just buy the deck or order the deck, pre-order it. Because if you pre-order it now, it's helping him get, the funds together so that he can get it out for everybody fast. You can just get the deck. You can get 1, 2, or 3 decks. You can get a deck and a print. You can get a deck and 2 prints. You can get a deck and a print and a taller. I mean, there's all these different ways to do it. I heard in my head 111, so which means keep your thoughts positive. Focus on the best. Right now, the universe is taking a snapshot of your thinking. Do you like what you're creating with your thinking? If not, elevate your thinking. Get rid of that stinking thinking, right? But I heard in my head 111, so that was what I was going to be pledging, is 111. And I take to heart these messages too. I don't want to be filling my void by overspending, right? I've got to be careful with my money. So I know that Spirit said 111. I would have preferred the 222. He's like me, right? He's 111, 222, 333, 444. I would have loved the 222, but at this time I have to pay attention to what Spirit's saying to me. So 111, I was just trying to choose between the prints, and he says, don't worry about it. Just make your donation. You'll get the deck, and then you can choose the print as you go along. But this, to me, is not filling a void with something. This is filling a void with something useful. It's a beautiful deck. It's a tool for my work. I'll be sharing it with everyone. I will be blessing you with it. I am blessed by it. And so that to me is wise, right? And I'm also supporting a spiritual brother. So as I said, I'm obviously I'm a great promoter for everyone else, but as John was saying, you know, that's all part of the old paradigm we let go. The new paradigm is it's not about what about me. It's not about, well, when's mine coming? It's about what can we do to help one another. It's all about helping one another, right? So we've got Timothy, who is cleaning up, and think about the different levels these people are at, how you would view them, right? You've got Timothy, who works 2 jobs so that he can work full-time. Right now he's in the Bay Area cleaning up filth of other people's. Rides around on a little old moped or like an old bike, right? So there's him. And then you see my friend Chad Whitworth, who you might call, some may say, oh, he's a hippie, you know, growing pot in his backyard. He should be reported. No, he's a very loving person, very kind, gentle person, loves animals, loves his herb garden. I went and got him a plant. He had one called pitcher plant, and it's a carnivorous plant. It eats flies. And so I said I'd gone to look for his and I couldn't find one, but I found another. And he goes, oh, I would love one. If I could give you money, would you go? And I said, absolutely. So I went and I got him one, and I got one for me too. This is it. It sits on my dashboard. Remember I said I should have a plant on my dashboard? Well, here it is. This is called a Nepenthes ventricosa, red pitcher plant. Pitchers that form at the leaf tips catch and digest bugs. To 18 inches across, climbing by its tendrils and pitchers, a house or greenhouse plant for part sun, shade, water twice a week. Needs almost no fertilizer. Well, what was interesting is they had it outside. I said they can grow outside. It was a little bit sheltered. I'm going to stop by and talk to him today and tell him, because I said, yeah, it was outside, but it was in a sheltered area. I was worried it wouldn't grow in my house, but obviously it's going to grow well. This would be one that I would have in my camper, right? It's in this camper, and all of the right in here, it's filled with liquid. I don't know if it's you water it from below, so I don't know if that's what the bugs go into. It must be, because they're all half full. And what happens is they go around the rim and they get drunk on the nectar, and then they slide down and they're caught. So there's a message right there. Think about that. The carnivorous flower fairy. That's a message that came out. The carnivorous flower fairy is very beautiful to look at. You get drunk on its nectar. Her, job, person, charming. But then you lose your way and you slide down and to your death. Carnivorous flower fairy is very, very charming and very, very beautiful when you do what they want you to do. But as soon as you go and do something different, they become toxic, caustic, abusive, deadly. This is great for my house because I've got a gazillion little gnats that are constantly all over the place. So that's nature. So there you have my friend, Chad, who I think he's awesome. And I got a message from Timothy. He said, thank you for stopping by and seeing Chad and doing that for him. I said, you don't have to thank me. I like him. He's my friend. And I was happy to go to the nursery for him. I like him. He's got a beautiful dog named Carly, a golden retriever, sweetheart. I have her on pictures. If you guys go to my Facebook page, she's hysterical, little videos. He's got this, herb garden. He can't drive anywhere. It was a pleasure for me to go. I'm going to ask him if he wants me to take him, right? I got from Spirit yesterday, do something for somebody, and I'd already done that. I thought, oh, that's nice. But I didn't know at the time that he couldn't drive, and that was a big deal for me to go over there and grab that. It was no big deal for me. It was a big deal for him. So there's a message for you as well. So our message is the owl. I am the seer. This is one of my main totems, as well as my twins. Beautiful, beautiful, the great horned owl. The number is 24. Again, we get the message. 2, everything is happening exactly as it is meant to happen, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go, release, have faith, have fun. 4, there are angels all around you. Earth angels. I am meeting earth angels. I met Chad. I met Tim, I met John. They're all earth angels. You think about that hippie that's growing weed in his yard, and that garbage collector, and then you think about my friend John, who paints $10,000 plus paintings in a gallery in Cambria, right? But they're all of the new paradigm. They're all family. They're all soul family. They aren't any different than each other. This is what the owl says. See past the illusion. See through the deception. You're all the same. You're all family, right? 4, angels guiding you, protecting, loving you. I felt very safe meeting these people, going into that person's house. I was amongst angels walking, just like me, right? And 2 and 4 together are 6. 6 says, first of all, victory is yours. 6 says that you've gone through a very challenging situation and you have mastered it. You have climbed that mountain. And because of that, you are able to plant your flag, your victory flag. 6 also says, don't be so focused on this material world. It's not all about what you see here in front of you. That's the illusion. See through the deception. Past that illusion. There's another curtain opening. We're into a new paradigm, the love movement. What would love say? What would love do? Spirit says, look to your ancestors. Absolutely. The ancestors, I keep looking at him. That brave, facing his true north, right? Looking up to the Father. Oh my God, on the other side of the brave, I see a lion. That's where the falcon is. The falcon is the Father. I knew it. The lion. I see him facing out over the dunes, the sand dunes. I don't know if you guys can see him. I can see him clear as a bell. And he's got a big boulder on top of his head. He's carrying a big weight on top of his head. Indian brave on one side, the ancestors, the falcon, which is the Leo, the lion, on the other side. He's carrying a great burden of the past. He needs to release that burden of the past. But look to your ancestors. Yes, they're guiding you, but don't hold on to what's weighing you down. That big boulder, that's a lot to carry on your back, right? Wow. I said that the first osprey and the falcon were the same person. That one's a Leo. That one's a lion. That one's not mine. I chose number 2, which is me. But I want to be 3. I'm moving to 3. See past the illusion, the deception. Owl. So the seer says, I am Owl, the silence of the night. I am the arrival of mysterious things. I am the revealer of hidden tracks beneath the snow and ghosts within the psyche. I am the unsettling of darkness. I am the goddess of death. At times you cannot see me, but I permeate all worlds. My hunting grounds are the soul. You are a skilled listener. You are a well-seasoned traveler of realities. I have been watching your movements and tracking your steps. You're beginning to see beyond the veil and crack the illusions of night, but you must be vigilant and watch your step in the blackness. Take the quiet road and guard your inner world with determined purpose. Everybody wonders why I take the back road. Always. There's a vast trove of power that will guide you well as you soar into the cosmos. But before you boast of your new winged ally, realize that I'm no longer bringer of easy roads. My path is lonely and requires retreat into the forests of the mind. Love it there, right? My favorite place. This is where all awareness begins and where all experience comes home to fulfill its purpose. You are a sober night vision. You are a master of the shadows. You are at ease in solitude. You are Owl. I kept saying I needed to be where the lake was, where the trees were. The road less traveled. The retreat into the forests of the mind. The lake is a pool of reflection. My home is self. Go back to self. You know, John and I were talking about how the more we learn, the less we know. And it's like you wake up to one level and Spirit says, do you have that? You got that right? Okay, cool. Forget it, because now we're moving on to the next level. That's like what I just got just now. Kept thinking I'm going to a place. I'm not. Home is where my heart is. Home is where I am. I am home in my skin. If you're home in your own skin, you're already there. That's the level I'm at right now. I just leveled up one. That's pretty cool. So let's see what the messages we have from 333, The Naked Truth. Correct for neutrality. How cool. I was watching that one this whole time, and I said I wasn't sure if the one that was on the branch was an osprey. Remember I saw the 3 and then we saw 4 all together? It wasn't an osprey. It was a cormorant. They nest up in the trees as well, along the cliffs up by William Randolph Hearst Castle. You're wondering why I'm filming here. The osprey came flying right at me and he dove down into the water. You can't see him and I can't either. He's gone down a long ways. Remember, you'll dive down deep under your emotional waters, but you will emerge. When I watched him go down at the coast, I watched him go down under the wave, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to die. Where is he? Where is he? I was freaking out. But they are diving eagles. That's what they do. That Indian brave has a feather headdress, eagle feathers. That lion has got a feather in his cap. Where are you? I don't know where you went. I don't see him. I was watching the whole time as he dove down. I don't know where he is. He's swimming underwater. He'll emerge safe and sound, and when he does, I'll show you him. But wow. But what I wanted to point out was it was a cormorant that was on that branch, surveying everything. And the cormorant is the one that is a fisherman, and the fishermen put the ring around their neck, and they don't allow them to keep what they have captured. And so the message from Spirit is don't work for another and allow them to keep the bounty. I'll never work for anybody else again. Spirit always wants us to work on our own, for ourselves. They want us to be free. They don't want us to be tied down to anything and anyone. Is that you? Did you spring up? No. That's incredible. He's down a long ways. And you know he's not drowning. I'm asking for the messages. Father, I'm asking for divine guidance so that the messages that I deliver are the messages that you wish to have heard. I'm asking for complete neutrality on all levels. This message is not mine, it's yours. Please help me continue to be a divine channel for your messages. Show me, is there something in this pile? A message, yep. First message, you are safe. You're safe. As you dive down underneath your emotional waters, you're safe. You can do it. You're made for it. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Flipped right out. Yes. The answer is yes. Capital letters with an exclamation mark. Yes. The answer is yes. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I think we might have to have 4 because I can't shuffle through. It's too big. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Is there another message in this pile? Or, you know, we might only have 3. There might not be anything in this pile. Is there a message in this pile that's applicable for this part of the reading? We're at 1 hour and 7 minutes. Okay, good. I don't want to go too long. Correct for neutrality. People lose their focus. Right? It gets, it's too much. Say less, it's more important. Oh, one went flying. Okay. That was a good message, actually, because the osprey that went down, he went down deep. You might have thought he was down for the count, but don't make that mistake. He's made for that. And he flew. He says, I'm out of here. I have to give a message out. It just came up, and I just asked a personal question. So the message is, I love someone else. That just needed to go out. It might be something someone is saying to you, or it might be something that you need to make sure that someone else understands. So spend less time online, watching television, etc. Right? Get away, get outside, get away from it. Maybe it's an addiction. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Was there another for this last pile? Correct for neutrality. I just saw one that was pretty funny. Correct for neutrality. This deck is all over the place. That's what I love it. It's me, right? It's like it's got very important message, like deep messages. It's got silly messages. It's got sexual messages. It's the naked truth, dude. It is what it is, right? Sometimes you don't want to hear the truth, but sometimes you need to. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Ooh, are you wanting to go? Nope, that one did. See? It's interesting. I'm seeing this one jumping out, right? This one's jumping out, but this is the one Spirit said. They are not your friends. Put up boundaries. They are not your friends, even if you think they are. You'll know what this in regards. This is my card, so they are not your friends. I'll ask Spirit who it is. Act now. They are not your friends. So I'll have to ask Spirit to show me who are not my friends, because I chose this message. I'm watching them dive down into the water. It's pretty bitchin' to watch. So now we're going to go to Osprey number 4. which is the angelic team. I think, to me, it's the united consciousness, all of us. And the deck that we're going to work with, what are we working with? The wings, the map, the love, the wings, the map, the love. The wings, the map, the love. I see no birds right now, so not wings. The map. Oh my God. Amy Fuerte. There's your black Jeep, dude. She wants that black Jeep. That's badass. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing, she's like, there's the black Jeep. We keep seeing the black Jeep. Okay. The maps. I just heard the maps. Okay, so I called it the maps, and it's actually not the maps. It's the wisdom of the oracle. She has the enchanted map too. I think that's another one of her decks. That's funny. So that's not the one. Okay. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. So I wanted a plant in my dashboard, and I got one. I've got to find. Maybe I'll go ask my new friend, who is a friend. My new friend Chad, if he wants to go with me to the nursery. So I can get a little, maybe I'll go to a thrift store. He likes thrift stores. I do too, a lot. And there's a thrift store on the way to the nursery. 3 came out, but 1 fell down. 3 came out. We're gonna get them all, okay? 3 came out and 1 fell down. So, interesting. Remember I said the one that dove down, well, it went down under its water. And I didn't think it was going to come out. I didn't worry. Years ago, I rescued a cormorant that had gotten weak. It wasn't eating the right things. It got a pebble stuck in its throat. A lot of times they put a pebble in their throat. It weighs them down so that when they dive down, they can get the fish down below. But it couldn't get it past. There was something stuck in his throat. He wasn't able to get it out. Think about this symbolically. Something was stuck in my throat. I wasn't able to speak. My throat chakra was blocked. And so because of that, he wasn't able to eat, take in the appropriate nourishment, and he was very, very weak, and he kept getting tumbled in his emotional waves. I watched him from 75 feet up on a, oh no, I was higher than that, 250 feet. I scrambled down the side of that cliff with bare feet and a towel, and then I got him. I went up to him, and he was so weak that he let me. I wrapped him in my towel, and I don't know how spirit took me back up that side of that sand cliff that I climbed down, holding him in my arms. And I flagged somebody down, a trucker and his wife, and she got in my car, and we drove it all the way 30 minutes inland to a humane society who said they were closed, and I lost my shit. And I until the man came out, I said, I just drove half an hour with this bird, and you're supposed to help animals. Fucking get somebody out here. And I had tears pouring down my face. I'm in my bathing suit and board shorts and sand all over bare feet. So she went inside, and she brought this big bear of a man out. Remember that bear that was so sad to see the falcon go? Oh, dear bless, they're a couple. And their partner went back into spirit. My heart breaks for you. Fuck. I'm sorry. I know how that hurts. He came out, he was so sweet and gentle. And that was somebody's soul uncle, is what I was just shown. And he came out, and I was crying, and he said, we're not open, but I'll take him for you. And he says, I don't think he's going to make it. But I was doing Reiki on him the whole time, all the way from the beach till we got inland. And I calmed him because he was very upset. And he was almost asleep by the time I got there. He thought he was dying. And I said, no, he's resting because I did Reiki on him. And he didn't know what, anyway, he just listened to me. He was cool with it. And it could be I just got from Spirit right now, sister-in-law. It could also be a symbolic death. It doesn't have to be a literal death, but I think there was one that they lost somebody very important to them, and they're hurting. But remember, I'm cutting in, I know, that one of the messages was that there was somebody that was going to go away, but they were going to come back. Sometimes they don't understand the path that you're taking, and so they may push away from you. I got that there is a family member that has pulled away, and they're angry, but they're going to come back. They're going to come back. It's okay. So you can just release to surrender to Spirit, allow. So this big gentle bear of a man took my cormorant into the shelter, and he said, I'll see what I can do. And he was gone for about 10 minutes, and he came back and he said he had a pebble stuck in his throat. He goes, I have him on fluids. And he goes, he's starting to perk up. And I said, yeah, because it was the Reiki, I'm telling you. And he says, I can't right now because it's Sunday and it's closed, but tomorrow we're going to have somebody take him down to the wildlife sanctuary in San Diego. So see, sometimes you have to lose your shit. Sometimes you have to swear. Sometimes you have to cause a temper tantrum. You have to, in order to be heard, right? Sometimes you have to do that in order to be heard. It saved somebody. And there he is. The great blue heron. And he's on the shore. Did you see him? I know he was probably an ant to you guys, but he just showed up. The great blue heron that was supporting that native that had to release that one. The one that's the jack of all trades, a master of none, but fucking fantabulous, knows every opportunity, dances to his own beat, or hers, can see an opportunity when nobody else does, right? Maybe that's me. Maybe I am the blue heron, and I am supporting that native that had to release the one that's hurting so bad, someone that they lost. And that mama bear is holding on tight because they can't even bear the thought of that one going. You see, I always say me, I make it about me because all of my, these were my best friends growing up as a child. They were my best friends. I spoke their language, and this is how I now speak their language, is by telling you what they mean. I literally spoke their language. I heard them. They communicated with me. But I had that language taken away when my mother married a Jehovah's Witness. It wasn't safe for me to have that language. Probably they would have thought I was schizophrenic, right? I met somebody in Cambria. I was looking for headphones because I wanted to be able to listen to music as I was riding my bike. And I didn't have them. And so I went to a general store thinking I'm never going to find them here, but I'll try. And there was a man. And the lady said, well, we have earbuds. And I said, no, I've got the new iPhone 8. And then the man in line next to me said, I might have what you need. I might have to look for it. I might not be able to get it till tomorrow. And I said, oh, I need it today. I'm going bike riding today. That was the day that I went bike riding, and I took you guys with me. So I followed him back to his place, and he has a computer. He does computer restoration, and he motorizes bicycles, and he has an iguana, not an iguana, a chameleon. My daughter rescues chameleons, and Lisi rescued them. Got it. Lisi doesn't want to see him go. I understand. Lisi rescues chameleons and educates people because they don't know how to take care of them. They think it's, oh, we'll get our kid a chameleon, and they don't realize that they need to eat certain food. And hi, Jonathan. Hi. They need to eat certain food, and they need to have special light. And this chameleon was sitting too close to the heat lamp, and he got burned. So you think about sat too close to where that light was coming from. Could have been anything in your life. You know what it is. I won't embarrass you by saying what it is. And his crown was burned, and they had to have it cauterized and removed. There was their operation, right? They were too close to the heat lamp, too close to what kept them warm, and had to have an operation. And he's fine. He's beautiful, but he's the mascot now. And I knew he was different. He was like the blue heron. He was like me. And I said, he goes, I'm a little OCD, sorry. And I said, oh, I am, don't worry about it. I go, that's just what people call us. And he goes, no, it's what I am. He goes, I've got hyperattention deficit disorder, and I have OCD, and I know who I am. I'm not apologizing. And I said, that's funny. I was talking to a friend, John, of the gallery, Mosley Gallery, and I was talking about how Spirit brings me all these messages, right? And he was saying it must be very difficult on a day-to-day basis. And I said, it's not difficult for me. And the man laughed. He goes, yeah, it's difficult for them, right? It's not difficult for us. It might be difficult for people who don't understand. He goes, but I understand. So I was in the presence of a blue heron, right? And I loved him. I thought he was great. I videotaped his work, and he sold me that lightning cable cord. And I said when he sold it to me, I was lightning before the thunder. I heard that because that person is a mirror of someone I love who is also a blue heron person. And sold it to me for $5. And it was interesting because I'm guided everywhere. Everything I needed, it's right there. I go to this place. No, they didn't have it, but the guy that had it was there, and I met him. So what fell to the ground, like I said, I saw that cormorant being tumbled, right? He would have died if I hadn't have grabbed him. I didn't think twice about scampering down that cliff. Oh my God, I saw this in a dream 6 years ago. A white van rolling down a mountainside, and I screamed, that's my friend's van. Next thing I knew, I was climbing up over the guardrail, and there was a big man, big bear of a man that was hugging me. He hugged me too tight, it made me uncomfortable. It was like a sexual hug, but I felt that that person saved me. I know the people that are getting these messages. So the one that fell down on the ground was Regeneration. And it fell down upright. And the two that came were, all that glitters is not gold. Remember holding on too tightly and it burned them. Their job, a relationship, money, position, status. All that glitters is not gold. There's a change in the wind. And who did we see up the coast? The zebras. And remember about the zebras? People make the mistake of understanding that they think that this is a black animal with white stripes, when in all reality, this is a white animal with black stripes. Did you know that? A beautiful, pure animal that has shadow, just like all of us. You thought he was dark with just a little bit of light? No, he's light with just a little bit of dark. He may not even know that. He carries the tower with him. Do you know what that is? That's a wedding steeple. That's the, people get married in that. It's like the little gazebo that's at Harmony Chapel. The gazebo in the garden of the White Lace Inn. He's got it strapped to his back. It's got a weather vane on top. There's a change in direction. All that glitters is not gold. It's not all you thought it was. It's not all that it was cracked up to be. Nope. I'm taking... See, Harmony, I love Harmony. For me, that little town, it's beautiful. I said one day I'd get married in that little chapel. I saw it in my dreams. I was shown it in my dreams, but there's a change in direction. Carrying that chapel on my back. Spirit, it's funny, I thought I was saying Spirit was carrying that chapel on their back, but I said I was. So, like I said, wherever your heart goes, wherever you go, your home goes. I like a little tiny home. The chapel is to me where I would be married, where I would celebrate. That's where you celebrate. That's where you do your first dance. And when you dance, you're in harmony. Oh my God, the town is harmony. When you dance, you're in harmony. And harmony is my favorite thing. My mom said to me, if you could have anything, what would it be? And I said, harmony. If I had harmony in every area of my life, I would be at peace. And here I carry harmony on my back. Because wherever I go, I need to be in peace. A true master finds peace even amidst chaos. True master is not all pure white. They got a lot of shadow. There's a change in direction. And there's a generation, something that was dead is coming back to life. It's hot. It never cooled. It never died. That molten lava, the sacral chakra orange, the color of creativity and your sexual energy, it never died. It never cooled off. That tree was almost dead, but look at the new leaves. Something is coming back to life. Because that wasn't what you thought it was, or what they thought it was. Change in wind, change in direction, following your true north. A regeneration of your soul, a regeneration of an idea, a regeneration of a relationship, a regeneration of your health. Because I was shown this morning, we had a friend, my mother died of pancreatic cancer. Timothy said, Chad's very sad because we have a friend. And he didn't say Chad's really sad. He said, yeah, our friend is dying. And I said, who's dying? I didn't want to hear that Chad was dying. And Chad has had, he had a head injury. I had a head injury too. He says, our friend, Jim. And in my dreams, I know who Jim is. I know who Jim represents. He represents the man who was like a dad to him, who's like an uncle perhaps. Could be an aunt. Somebody that they went to all the time, that they loved. It was a big bear of a man, actually, sweetheart. And that person has pancreatic cancer. And I'm going to tell you something else that's really intriguing as far as the mirrors. Everything is a mirror. Everything. The man named Chad, he looks just like my friend Pat McDonald in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, who also had cancer. 4th stage, and went into complete remission. And the message that I got when he said that was, death shall not take him. My mother died of pancreatic cancer. Pat's not dead. Pat's gone into remission. It looked really bleak, and then he came back. We're here as long as we're meant to be here. You know, if we live thinking about dying, you could walk out tomorrow and be hit by a truck. When your life path is over, when meant to be done, it's meant to be done. You've chosen your life path ahead of time, right? We all have cancer cells in our body. Don't ever think it's over. It's not over till the fat lady sings. And right now, Spirit says, there's a change in direction, and there's something that's coming back to life, something that you thought was dead or dying, right? That life has never stopped. That passion has never stopped. Maybe it's a passion for something that you had, a dream. Maybe you were going after the wrong thing. It wasn't what you thought. Positive change in direction. So the number 46 might mean something to somebody. The number 16 and the number 12. 46, 4, angels all around you, completely guiding, protecting, and loving you. No reason for fear. 6, again, you're too focused on this material world. We have a spiritual reality happening. We are spirit creatures having a physical reality. Yes, we live in this world. We need to stay present. That's one thing that spiritual people, someone that's like myself, I'm a medium, I'm a channel, I'm psychic, I'm a super sensitive, I'm pulled in many different directions. I'm often flying in spirit. But I live amongst people that don't understand. I live in this world as well, so I need to stay grounded at all times. That's why I'm always in nature, right? It's important. So 6 says, you're too focused on this material world. Lift your eyes to spirit. Lift your eyes to spirit, says the ancient ones. Listen to the ancient ones. They're guiding you. The lion's got your back. It's back to you. You're looking in a different direction. And if you guys probably can't see, but above the brave is a huge flock of vultures, which is death, transformation, and rebirth. They're all circling the direction that the ancestors are looking. Something that you thought was dead has had a rebirth and a resurrection. The lion is behind you. It's in the past. Let it go. Release it. Be free. Float on your emotional waters like Jonathan. I love this reading. Okay, so we're gonna go to the other message. The other numbers are 12. Oh wait, hold on. 4 and 6 together. 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to do that, which is an ending and a new beginning, right? It's right in front of you. The death and the rebirth. It's all right here. There's a new beginning, right off of the heels of an ending of something else. And then all that glitters is gold is 16. 1, keep your thoughts positive. Do you like what you are? Do you like what you are creating with your future? If not, elevate your thinking because it's stinking, and create the future that you wish to see. And then, of course, 1 and 6 together is 7. If you stay on your spiritually illuminated path, the outcome will exceed your expectations. But you must stay on your spiritually illuminated path. You must be able to see that large flock of them right now. And I'm asking myself, are they, in all reality, are they vultures? Or are they pelicans? Those are pelicans. But they're not just pelicans. It's the United Collective. They're all flying together. There's small birds. There's pelicans. There's osprey. There are cormorants. They're all flying together. That's what's going on over there. The ancestors are saying it's not about segregating. It's not about hating Columbus because he came and he butchered the Indians. It's about coming together. This is the new paradigm, all flying together. Birds of a feather flock together. The spiritual ones, the awakened ones, they listened to what the ancestors were saying. And then he says, fly, go out, spread the message. Oh my God, a giant, giant, giant blue heron just landed on shore. I don't know if you saw him flying in, but he was probably 3 times the size of the first one I saw. And there, see what I'm saying? I'm not telling a lie. These are cormorants. Those are pelicans. Those are vultures. They're all flying together. So what was Cormorant's message? Don't be doing the work for another. Don't be cleaning up someone else's side of the street. Don't be working for another and not being able to keep what is yours. An honest day's work, right? That's why I was talking about how my friend Chad was saying he wants all the growers to grow, all of them to grow together, because they're not allowing the ones to keep what they grow. They would rather sell it off to, Starbucks, where they can charge everybody a fortune. You can go down the street and buy it for $60 for a little thing, Or you can grow it in your garden like an herb that it is. It's time for a revolution. Regeneration. Okay, 16, 7, 1 and 2. Again, 1, keep your thoughts positive. 2, everything's happening as it's meant to. 1 and 2 together is 3. Full circle completion says the number 10, right? The death of something else, the death of the old paradigm, the beginning of the new paradigm, the end of an old relationship, the beginning of the new, the resurrection of self, regeneration of a dream, all coming back. The ascended masters are helping you work through this. The native, the grandmother that I continue to see in my dreams, my mom, my sister, my dad, my brother. And it's interesting, I said that at one reading and I thought, wait a minute, I don't have a brother that's passed into spirit, do I? I do have 6 half-brothers and sisters, but I don't think that anyone has passed. The brother that I speak of is Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron. Right now it's Metatron, I'm looking right at him. That brave is Metatron. Metatron works with autistic people, people with OCD, compulsive issues, social anxiety disorder, attention deficit disorder, the ones who feel like they don't belong, the ones who feel different, the awakened ones, the magical ones. That's who Metatron works with. And that is why I always see Metatron as this beautiful Indian brave who's always looking up to the Father, looking up to his true north. Go to the rock. When the great wave comes, go to the mountain with the tablets, the Indian that was crying. Metatron's crying. There's also great strength behind that brave. The lion speaks about courage and strength. He's got his back. That's another message. He's got your back. And you don't have to be loud and brash and angry and arrogant. The greatest strength that you can have is compassion and kindness and forgiveness. Remember, I spoke of the brave with the tears falling down his face. That would be Metatron, my brother. That's why I do this work. That's why I accepted this path. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Let's take off all these clothes. Yeah. 3 messages, Spirit says. Correct for neutrality on all levels. The first message. And then I'm going to call it a wrap because we're at... There, thank you. That one came out quick. They do hard drugs. No. The answer is no. They do hard drugs. No. Okay, they're not your friends. They do hard drugs. They're associates. They're associates. I don't do hard drugs. Okay? And if Spirit says they're not your friends, they do hard drugs, you don't want that. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. It might be a good person, might be a kind person, but if they do hard drugs, they're not going to be working with my energy, right? And they're not working with Spirit's energy. It's not good for you. Sometimes people think, you know, I'm doing ayahuasca, I'm having a spiritual experience. I'm doing mushrooms, I'm having a spiritual experience. But there are people who abuse the situation, and what they're saying is they do hard drugs. They don't do it for the religious experience, which is interesting. It's what they're telling people. I don't do it for a religious experience. I have done mushrooms. It wasn't a religious experience. It was definitely a spiritual experience. But they don't do it for religious or, well, maybe they do for religious, because what I'm hearing right now is Santa Mireta, which is spellbinding and black witchcraft, and that's what they did to the natives of Sedona, the Hopi tribe. The Mexican coyotes came north and they butchered them, and they took their hearts out and they disemboweled them while alive as part of their ritual. And it's evil, and I have nothing to do with that. It's black energy, dark energy. They do hard drugs. Stay away from that. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Somebody is working with that. It might be a member of your family. It might be a friend that you know. And I've been shown that quite a bit, so it's coming out right now for a reason. They may be telling you that this is part of their Indian rituals. No, it's not. It's Santa Mireta, and it's evil, and it's dark. They call upon the ancients. They call upon the spirits of the dead ones to fund their drug runner business, to fund their prostitution rings and their mob connections. They do it so that they stay safe and they don't get caught by the police for what they do. There's a difference between a hippie that grows herbs to help his medical condition than a drug runner who's in it for the money and the prostitution and the bondage, and it's not okay. And so get as far away from them as you possibly can, even if they are your family. They're evil, they're not your friends, and they're dangerous. Correct for neutrality on all levels. For those who chose the 4th osprey, 3 fell out at once. And that's a message to you. 3 fell away at once. Maybe out of your life. 3 fell out at once. Stop eating so much and get some exercise. Somebody needs to hear that. Stop bringing up my past. I can't undo it. It's over. Be yourself, and you will warm people's hearts. Now, this might be something that you have an issue with. Maybe, because a lot of times I say when I'm speaking about things, people think I'm speaking about them, or they're talking about them. I'm talking about them, but this is spirit talking. I'm channeling here. And if you resonate with that, there's a reason you resonate. You needed to hear that message. So you either need to say that to someone's beating you over the head with the past that you can't take back, or you're super sensitive to something because it's something you need to look at. Which is it? Stop bringing up my past. I can't undo it. It's over. Have you asked for forgiveness, and has someone forgiven you for that? If so, drop it and let it go. You can't keep bringing it back. They can't undo it. Correct for neutrality. Stop for eating. Hello. That's pretty freaking clear. Be yourself. Just be your authentic, truthful self. People don't want you to be different. They want you to be who you are. The people that want you to be different are not your friends. Remember? The ones who are your friends are going to love you for who you are. And you'll be drawn to like-minded ones, right? To the blue heron people. If you're a blue heron person, be a blue heron person. And then you will be drawn to people like you. And they will love you for who you are, not for the false mask that you put on. Besides, it's fake anyway. Maybe that's the problem. You fell for this facade and it was bullshit, right? Now there's a change in direction. They're not your friends. They don't love you, and they don't love themselves. They're dangerous. Alliances, cut them away. 3 fell away at once, just with that sentence. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Be compassionate with yourself. You are more than okay. Remember, if you're a blue heron person, celebrate your life. I thought that guy was amazing. He was very kind to me. And, you know, I didn't have $5 cash. And he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, if you want to just use them while you're here and bring them back before you leave, that's cool. Otherwise, you know, you could drop money by any time. That was a nice guy, right? Angel walking, for sure. And and people judge him. He has a great business, right? Maybe you do have OCD. Maybe you do have autism. Maybe you do have what somebody labels you as something else. That man was running a business of his own. He worked for himself. He didn't have to go work at freaking McDonald's. He worked for himself, and he did a very good job, right? I put up a post this morning about autism, or maybe it was yesterday. My girlfriend's brother has autism. He's beautiful and very connected soul. He's never spoken, ever. But he's the one who told her, he wrote to her for the first, and before that he'd only written to his aunt. How did he know how to write? He never had spoken. He was 26 years old, and he wrote to her. And he said, Sherry Columbus of Angel's Whisper, listen to her. She's like me. She works for the angels. That blew my mind. Like, blew my mind. And it blew her mind because she hadn't told anyone in her family that she was talking to me, because her family wouldn't approve of it. They were religious. And she is gifted as well. There's a lot of people that have gifts that don't want their family to know because they won't accept it. And they'll be ostracized. But Spirit says, be yourself. Please give me a second chance, somebody is asking. That needs to be asked in person, right? You need to say that, not just through a card. Correct for neutrality on all levels. But that's somebody's desire, in case you wondered. In case you wondered, that's what's going on here. Man, all that glittered wasn't gold. I fell for a mask. It wasn't what I thought. It's a change in direction for me. I've got the chapel on my back. Give me a second chance, please. Passion for my love for you never died. Can it be again for us? That's the question, right? Whoops, there we go. I don't like the people you associate with. Straight up, there you go. I don't like the people you associate with. Can we have a second chance? If you're associating with those people, no. Correct for neutrality, it's me or them. Correct for neutrality. Everyone has free choice, right? And that might be your family. But if they do hard drugs and they're dangerous, and they don't like you for who you are, no. You have road rage. This isn't me anymore. I used to. I don't. My landlord does. You have road rage, and it's dangerous. You need to chill out. Correct for neutrality on all levels. I want you alive. Correct for neutrality. One more. Not in, oh, I thought it was going to be no. I see no one but you. I see no one but you. You are my everything. Now, I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth, right? I haven't had that question asked of me personally. I've had it said to me symbolically. I've had it said to me in my dreams. I've heard it. But I haven't had the question asked. Will you give me a second chance? The question needs to be asked. The story is understood. The situation is understood. The question needs to be uttered. Now, it may be the same person that said, can you give me a second chance? Please. I see no one but you. You are my everything. Now, here's me being bold, right? This is the Aries in me coming out. I see no one but you. My love for you has never died. I know all that glitters isn't gold, and I'm not hung up on that. So ask me the question yourself. Correct for neutrality on all levels. We're at a wrap. So let's pop outside and see our view. I need to chill out. Check it out. Somebody works for the state, California. That's the bear. The bear that's sad to see the falcon go. Feels great. I'm just too hot in the car. Jonathan's just totally chilling on his waters, right? Just taking it all in. What a perfect day. My landlord said he would watch my cats for me. And he even said, he goes, you know what? Treat yourself. Stay another day. I'll treat you. He goes, I'll treat you. Stay for another night. He goes, it's going to be crazy trying to drive down San Diego area on a Friday. I didn't even know what day it was. So I can go back on a Saturday, and my babies are all taken care of. They're all safe. So how blessed am I, right? I know how blessed I am. And I say it all the time. So if people are kind to you and do you favors, say thank you. Look what happened last night in the wind. A giant tree fell over, and they had to cut it up into pieces. It was huge. That's one thing about eucalyptus. I told you Randolph Hearst planted a grove because he thought it would be good for wood, but he realized it wasn't. And they're very unstable, the eucalyptus trees. It fell over. So now it's chopped wood. The wind was great, so the winds have changed, knocked somebody over and put an end to something, right? Now it's just chopped wood. It's time to burn it. Lots of messages, right? Okay, you guys, we're at a wrap. I gotta go get breakfast. I haven't even eaten. Oh, I was about to climb into the California state parks. I would love to work for them. A ranger. That's cool. Look at the little branch. It looks like a little underneath there. The girl, there's a monarch butterfly. Again, my colors of the trip, orange and black. Sacral chakra and dignity and class. Love your shadow, right? The monarch butterfly or the orange and black butterfly literally says, love your shadow, because it's the seat of sexual energy, right? It's black and orange. Love your shadow. Okay, I love you guys. We're at a wrap. Oh, if anybody would like help with private reading to take it further, take it deeper, my website is www.theangelswhisper.com. My name at this point is Sherry Columbus. I am the Angel's Whisperer. Actually, of Angel's Whisper, I am the ET Angel. I don't know if you saw that. I am ET Angel because I am an extraterrestrial of the Angel's Whisper. So, if I can help you with anything, go to my website, check it out. Please click like, subscribe, and share. If you're new to my channel, you got to click all or you won't be seeing the videos. They'll bury them. I love your comments. Keep them coming. I'll talk to you soon.